We're following breaking news on the war with Iran. President Trump posting moments ago the U.S. has, quote, obliterated every military target on an Iranian island. I want to get right to NBC's Garrett Hake at the White House. Garrett, what do we know?
Yeah, Tom, the president says these military targets on Kharg Island have all been destroyed. Kharg Island is a critical piece of Iran's oil infrastructure. It is far, I guess you would call it up in the north of the Persian Gulf, north of the Straits of Hormuz that we've been talking about for much of the last week. And it's essentially where much of Iran's oil industry and their export industry begins. What the president says he's done tonight is ordered this massive bombing raid that has destroyed the military targets on Kharg Island, but left intact the oil infrastructure. What's important then in the second half of this post is the president says if the Strait of Hormuz is not opened, he might reevaluate that decision, essentially kind of putting a gun to the head of Iran's oil industry, saying, you know, we've taken out these military targets. We could go back at any time and destroy the oil infrastructure that Iran would need to rebuild its economy if they don't open the straits, essentially leaving the ball in Iran's court to decide how they want to respond to that move by the U.S. military.
Okay, and I think we have Keir Simmons as well, who's live for us in Dubai tonight. Keir, I want to bring you in on this conversation as well, in this breaking news. Put this into perspective, right? I think Iran delivers 90% of their oil. It goes through this island. So how important is this, these strikes now on the island and what the way the president is describing this attack?
Yeah, I mean, it's crucial, Tom, from the perspective, as you mentioned, for Iran's oil industry, but it's also crucial strategically because remember that the Strait of Hormuz, Kharg Island is right there.